Hey, what's up, guys? This is Ricky V, and in today's video, I'm going to address a question that keeps coming up over and over again in the vintage muscle community. And the question is, I just received all of my vintage muscle products in the mail. What is the best timing, the best schedule to take all of these throughout the day? This is a good question with a nice simple answer, and I'm going to get into it right now. The vintage muscle products come in 4 presentations. You have the oral liquids, you have the sprays. Those are the transdermal liquids. You have the capsules, and you have your powders. And while there isn't a really set way in stone to take all of these, I'm going to give you my best recommendations for taking them. I'm going to tell you just how I take them. So listen up. When it comes to the oral liquids, I try to take those on as empty of a stomach as possible. So I like to dose my oral liquids under my tongue, hold it for a few seconds, and then swallow and chase it down with some fresh water. I like to take those on an empty stomach. So I'll have some of my liquid products in the morning upon awakening, and then I'll go do my fasted cardio. When I'm running stacks where I'm doing more than 1 milliliter of the oral liquids per day, my dosing schedule is in the early morning on an empty stomach, a good 1 to 2 hours before weightlifting in the afternoon. That's before having my pre-workout meal, before taking my pre-workout, before taking my nitric, my aminos, my organa, that small spot of the day where my stomach is pretty empty. Before my pre-workout feeding, that's the time when I like to take it. And then late at night, before bed. You should not be going to bed on a full stomach unless you're trying to gain massive amounts of weight. Going to bed on a full stomach is just not conducive to your fitness goals. So taking my 3rd liquid dose of the day right before bed, that's a great way to take the liquids. That's a great regimen if you're doing more than 3 cc's per day. So times when I'm running, say, wind test and 1 andro, I'll take 1 cc of the wind test in the morning. I'll take my 1 andro before training, and then I'll take my 2nd cc of wind test at night. Remember, guys, the GOT series is 2 cc's per day. And just a quick pause. I don't want to confuse anyone. Cc's, which means cubic centimeters, and mLs, which means milliliters, they're interchangeable. It's a measure of volume, and you could use either or in any conversation. mLs and cc's are pretty much the same. Okay, now that I got that explanation out of the way, let's get back to the dosing schedule. So now, if you're running only 1 cc, maybe you're running just 1 bottle of Epitest or 1 bottle of Rat Mass, then you have a couple of options. You could take your full 1 cc once per day, or you could split it. Take half a cc at one point of the day and take the other half at a different time of the day. Each way is fine. There are plenty of bros in the vintage muscle community reporting great results, even just taking the 1 cc once per day. And I know what your next question is. If I'm only taking 1 cc, what is the best time of the day to take it? Well, that's a good question. Look, if your main focus is fat loss, then you want to take it early in the morning, fasted, before you do your AM cardio. Fasted morning cardio is the best way that I've found to get shredded and lean. Real easy. And you only need about 20 minutes of fasted cardio in the morning to have some great fat burning results. And obviously, you want your 1 andro or your wind test or whatever you're taking. You want it right in your system as you're doing the cardio, helping to protect your muscles from catabolism, forcing your body to find those calories in the stored fat. Now, if your main focus is muscle growth or gaining strength or performance, then you want to dose your products about 1 to 2 hours before your training on an empty stomach. That puts the products in your system as you're at the gym, as you're pumping the muscles. Now, guys, understand, this is just a guideline. Your products are still going to work. If you're trying to lose body fat and you take the product before training in the afternoon, you're still going to lose body fat. If you're trying to gain muscle mass and you take your product upon awakening before fasted cardio, you're still going to gain mass from your training in the afternoon. It's not a problem. It's not an exact science, so don't freak out over it, okay, guys? That pretty much covers your liquids. Your main concern is make sure your stomach is as empty as possible. Hold the liquid under your tongue for a few seconds and then swallow, and you're good to go. Now, there are plenty of bros out there that don't even hold the liquid under the tongue. They just mix it with cranberry juice and chug it down. I made a whole video about how you can flavor your vintage muscle products using cranberry juice. It's a great one for you to check out. All right, guys, so that covers your oral liquids. When it comes to the spray liquids, the transdermal stuff, the best time that I like to use them is right after the shower. Bros like us that train twice a day, most of us will shower 2 to 3 times a day. So say if I'm running a stack, say chisel and 1 andro, in order to cut down, I would take my 1 andro dose in the morning fasted before doing cardio. Then after the cardio, I would get showered up to start my day. During the shower, I would exfoliate the area that I'm going to apply chisel on. Then after the shower, when my body's nice and dry, I would spray chisel right on the areas that I exfoliated. Maybe I'm trying to lose some belly fat. That's where chisel would go. Maybe you're trying to dry up your puffy nipples. That's where the chisel would go. Or maybe you just want an overall fat burning effect. Then you spray chisel on your forearms. Whichever way you go, give the skin a light exfoliation just to get rid of the dead skin cells and spray it on. Now, if you're training in the afternoon for mass and you're using Titan, yes, you can spray Titan on before your workout. Not a problem. Ideally, you would want to be out of the shower and have exfoliated the skin, but it's not completely necessary. If you took the shower in the morning, you'll be just fine. And look, you don't have to spray Titan before the workout. Do not get me wrong. You can spray it in the morning after your shower. You can spray it on before training. You can spray it on at night, anytime. You could even split your dosage of sprays. So spray some in the morning, some in the afternoon, and some at night. The transdermal delivery really gives you the most versatility when it comes to dosing. And the same thing applies to youth or chisel. Now with that out of the way, let me get to the capsules. Methyl test or post-cycle, the capsules you're going to get with most of your stacks or your PCT, you want to take those with your meals and plenty of food. So for example, if you took your dose of Win Test or 1-Androl fasted before your AM cardio, then you want to wait until your first meal to take your capsule of methyl test or to chuck down your Titan powder. It's a really good idea to take the capsules with food. There's several very powerful plant extracts in those capsules. So taking them with food just makes it easier for those capsules to absorb. And when it comes to Clen XT50 that you get with the anabolic shred stack, that one you want to be careful not to take too close to nighttime, or you might experience some trouble sleeping. But you're good to take Clen XT in the morning fasted, although I don't recommend it for most of you, as you might get a bit of an upset stomach. And when it comes to the Nitric OX50 that you get with the 19 North stack, you ideally would want to take that one before training, so you can take it with your pre-weightlifting meal. So for example, if I'm doing say Rad Mass or 1-Androl or Win Test, hour and a half before lifting weights, that's my empty stomach dosing for the liquids. And then along with my pre-workout meal, which tends to be just a nice thick protein shake, that's when I would take my Nitric OX50. So that covers the capsules, guys. Now let me get into the powders. Now the powders give you just a little bit more versatility. You can take those anytime. You can take them on an empty stomach or when you're full. Since you're pre-hydrating the mix in water, it's going to make it real easy for it to flow through your system and get absorbed. So the powders, yes, you can take with meals, you can take on an empty stomach. Other recommendations would be maybe don't take the pre-workout too close to bedtime or you'll have trouble sleeping. Now to close out the video, I want to answer a question that you probably have in your mind right now. If I'm taking 2 or 3 capsules per day, should I spread them throughout the day or should I take them at once? If I'm taking the powders, should I take them all at once or spread them throughout the day? Sort of the same principle applies when it comes to the liquids. You can spread them throughout the day or you can take them all at once. At that point, it's just a matter of what you can stomach. The Vintage Muscle capsules and powders come very heavy in active ingredients. So if you have a large meal, you're fine to take 2 or 3, 4 capsules all at once, no problem. If you're having a small meal, maybe you would want to keep it to about 2 capsules per meal so you don't experience any sort of stomach discomfort. And that's about it, guys. If you have any more questions about dosing your products, if you have any questions about what products you should use, head over to vintage-muscle.com and click on the community link. As of today, we're 20,000 strong and we're still counting. Come on in, ask all of your questions. You'll get answers from other guys just like you, running a lot of Vintage Muscle products within the same day, dosing them accordingly, and making great progress. We're all there to help. I'll be there. I'm there to help you too. All right, guys, that's it for me today. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.